Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Margaret and I'm a life coach. I am also a tarot reader, and today the subject we are going to discuss or talk about is, does tarot cards really have any power over your life? Okay, is tarot cards or tarot reading, does it really have any effect, or if it actually controls your life or not? And that's what I want us to discuss. So let's just get on. Right, I've been reading tarot for some time now, including oracle cards as well. And my understanding of tarot is that they are not evil. And in fact, a little bit about the history of tarot is that years or centuries ago, the tarot deck was manufactured, or was invented as a means of communication, because people who traveled, like the travelers who traveled to other places, when they didn't understand other people's language, they had to use the images to explain what they wanted to say. So that is how the tarot cards itself was derived, or let's say reading cards. Before the tarot card itself was invented, that is how people who traveled across Africa to Europe, this is how they used to communicate, because they didn't understand the language, and so they had the images to portray a child, a woman, a queen, a knight, things like that. That is how that's a little bit of background of the tarot cards or the tarot deck. Okay, so later on, my understanding is that the tarot deck that we use, as in today tarot deck, was designed based on astrology. Okay, and what the wands, the pentacles, the cups, and also the swords meant was for each element. Okay, and so that is how they used that to communicate. But I feel the only difference is that, compared to what the travelers used centuries before, the main deck that we all use, the Waite, is that the difference is that this new one, as in the Waite deck that we use, has got astrology attached to it, compared to the ones that didn't have astrology attached to it. However, it had the images to communicate with people that you come across. Maybe someone is looking for a child, or is looking for such a person, or they want to describe something and they didn't understand your language. They would use the deck or the images or the cards to communicate, so that it will make things more easy. So you didn't have to necessarily understand the language, but with the communication of images, people were able to communicate better. And then later on, the gypsies decided to take it on, and then the more they used that, and then that is how it came about. But with the one with the astrology attached to it, of course, that can really describe a person to a totality, okay, or at least as near as possible. So does tarot cards or tarot deck, does it have power over our lives? No, it doesn't have power over our life or over your life. Is tarot card evil? No, tarot cards are not evil. With the explanation I've just given you a few seconds ago, it's not evil. Okay, even the devil card is not evil. Even the death card is not evil. So when you're naive about something, at first I didn't know. I used to think that tarot was evil, because that's what was thought, until I decided to find out because I was quite interested. I used to watch the videos and I thought, how can this be evil, you know? And I realized that, you know, I want to get myself a deck, got myself a deck, and then I decided to study the deck, bonded with my deck, and the more I understood it, the more I realized that actually there's nothing evil about it. So this is my own personal experience, okay, that I want to share with you. So in terms of, does it predict your future? It can tell you what your future can be. The way I see it is, if you want someone to do a tarot reading for you, and you decided this the person or this reader is the one you feel you have a connection to. If you are looking for a future prediction based on a certain situation, when your heart is pure, you send your message or your energy out to the universe, that the person doing the reading can be insightful and use the images that come out to, you know, tell you what's happening. It doesn't mean that they are controlling you. The one who reads the card does not control your future. They don't tell you what to do. They only interpret what your energy has sent to them through the reading. That is how I see it. If someone contacts me for a reading, I always meditate and connect with their energy. And with the energy of their of the person, I do the readings for them. And sometimes I get an answer before I even do the tarot reading. And overall, the reading will end up being the messages I got from the meditation I had done previously before doing the reading. I also feel the person who does your reading is also important. Okay, you want someone who takes their time and really loves doing the reading. You don't want someone who's just doing the reading because it's fun. No, when I do a tarot reading for someone, I take it very serious, because obviously if they wanted to buy their own deck and do their own reading, they could, but they have contacted me to do the reading. And so I take it serious that the universe is going to use me to send a message to them that they haven't found an answer to yet. So that is how I see it, and I take, you know, I take it serious. So whatever the message is, I make sure I interpret it. I understand what it's saying. Sometimes what the cards may come out may not look as, or may not even come across as the actual interpretation of the cards, but sometimes with the eccentric combination of the cards, you will see that the deck or the images are telling you something that perhaps you are not even prepared to even say. But I feel it's important. Sometimes I know when I do my readings, sometimes I come across like I'm too serious. But the thing is, someone is watching it for fun. Someone is also watching it to get some type of subconscious understanding. So I feel I need to be serious with it. And when you are serious with it, I mean, some people will comment that I'm slow, but it's not that I'm slow. I want to take my time and understand what's there, because, for example, if I'm doing a pick a card reading, not everybody is going to necessarily resonate with everything. And so every information that I feel I'm getting, I need to give them the information, because some cards may look something about that card may tell you that, for example, like the Eight of Swords may tell you that, you know, someone is in mental prison. It could be depression, could be anything. It could be that someone is frustrated, but it literally means, you know, being restricted. Okay, it could be that you're physically restricted, it could be you're mentally restricted, it could be that, you know, people cannot even see properly, because when you look at the Eight of Swords, the woman in red with all the swords around her, she can literally walk away if she wanted to. But subconsciously, because her eyes are closed, she can't be 100% sure where the swords are to walk away. And there is water around her. So the problem could be even emotional, having a mental effect on someone. But it could literally mean that someone is in like physical prison as well. So depending on the combination of the card that you see, it can be telling you something important. But my, input here is that when you do or you order a tarot reading, or you watch a pick a card reading, tarot, whatever, you have to understand it hasn't got what do I say? It hasn't got power over your life, but what it has is it gives you an in-depth, or it gives you an insight of something that is about to happen. Because if your question is in the future, it gives you all the options. And I also realize some people expect the tarot reader to give them advice on what to do. Sometimes if you want an advice, you can ask for an advice. But then some people also don't want to give you an advice because they don't want to say that, you took the reading from me and it's not up to me to make the decision for you, because that's a fact. But some people want the decision to be made for them through the tarot reader, because you can't say, well, the tarot reader or the cards came and the cards didn't give me any advice. You didn't ask for an advice. This is something that I see people do most of the time. It's like you didn't ask for an advice. You asked for what the potential issue is. Okay, so it's not like the tarot is telling you that if you don't do this, it's letting you know these are your options. So perhaps, if the reader is doing specific questions, okay, for example, if it's like the Celtic cross spread, everything is very, very precise. You know what your problem is, you know what your potential situation is, the things you need to get out of, your potential outcome, things that you need to leave behind you, or things has been in the recent past, things like that. It's more precise. Whereas if there's a reading, and if there isn't, you just want a general reading, it's a general reading. But if the one doing the reading for you do specific and ask specific question, each card that comes out will explain what it is. Okay, and sometimes the one doing the tarot reading can also give you an input and let you know that this is what they feel the cards or the deck is telling you. So sometimes it's not like the reader or the card is telling you that this is how your life is going to be. Depending on how your question is or what your question is, it can predict what your potential future is going to look if you make a change now or if you don't make a change now. Okay, so it could be that you decide, if you have a problem looking for a job, and cards come out, and like the Five of Cups have come out of the deck, and maybe subconsciously you are sitting down crying all the time. Instead of you going out to look for a job, you're just sitting down crying and thinking that the tarot didn't get you a job. But no, it's not the tarot's fault. What you need to realize is that sometimes it's letting you know, stop pitying yourself and get out and go and do something. Okay, so I also believe that it is very, very important. It's important that you know that the tarot is not telling you what to do. But if the tarot is in connection with astrology, or for example, if it's an astrology with your natal birth chart, that is why some people will ask you for your time of birth, date of birth, and things like that, so that they can have a precise answer for you. If they have a little bit knowledge of astrology, they can see where the situation is going. But I realize most of the time people just want love life readings, and they don't really want anything else. They just want to know, when am I going to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or when is my boyfriend is coming back to me. There's a lot of that questions going on, and sometimes I feel there are other issues that the people are not even addressing. Sometimes it's on the cards, it's really there, and they are not addressing that issue. But sometimes I don't feel it's in my place to to say that to them. But sometimes if I feel the cards there keeps emphasizing, then I'll let them know perhaps this is not even your problem. Maybe the problem is with yourself. It's not with the person you are actually looking at. It could be yourself, and that is why everything is not working the way you want it. Once you've worked on yourself, everything else would follow. Sometimes the tarot gives you advice without explicitly saying that is what you have to do, but also I feel it depends on the person reading for you. If the person reading your tarot for you can understand what the combinations are, or sometimes you may book for a reading and the answers that you will get may not even sound like you got an answer. Okay, you may ask for a reading whether you want to you can have kids, or you are going to look for a job or whatever, and then the reading will come and then you'll talk about something to do with your family. It could also be that, like I'm talking about, like your extended family. It could be that there are problems that you are having in your family, and that is causing you to lose almost every job you've got, but maybe you've not made that mental connection. So the reading will come and it will sound or look like, this is not the reading I asked for, but this is what I've got. I have asked someone to do a reading for me, and the reading the person did, at first I wasn't sure what this person meant. But 1 year down the line, now I understand what the person was reading, because everything makes sense to me now. But then I thought that's not what I asked for. Okay. But sometimes, yes, if you are open to the connection of the universe and someone reading your cards for you, sometimes the information you will get is even way more than you asked for. So the tarot hasn't got power over you, but it can definitely give you an insight of what your future could be if you do something about the situation with in everything you've got. That everything is showing you now. You can decide, okay, this is what is saying right now, this is what is saying, so what is the best thing I can do? Okay, and then you can make your decision from there. Maybe because of that, but there are certain situations that you can't avoid, because the major arcana cards will let you know certain situations you cannot avoid. And with the minor arcana card, it will let you know these are situations that you will go through, or you may go through, or is something you need to think about. Okay, for me, when I do a reading, it doesn't matter how many cards I put on the reading floor. It doesn't matter what I do on the surface. I always ask a specific question, and with that combination, I know exactly what it is. If I'm asking for an advice, the card will give me an advice to be precise, instead of having a vague question. When am I going to have a boyfriend or something? But I personally like to connect with my deck, and whatever reading I'm doing, I have to take my time, meditate with the person who's asked me to do the reading for them, and I take it quite serious, because I feel if I don't put in the positive energy and do whatever I need to do to give them the right answer that comes out, then I haven't been helpful. Okay, so does the tarot have power over you? No, it doesn't have power over you, but it can give you an insight of what your life could be, if it's a future reading, and now or before, past, present, future. It can definitely predict what your outcome can be if you do something or if you don't do something. So if the tarot has predicted that in the future you're going to have your Ace of Cups or Two of Cups, but then you don't do anything to change your circumstance right now, you're not going to get your Two of Cups or your Ace of Cups. Because if it's saying that you can get the partner that you want, you need to do everything that can lead you to get there. Don't assume that the tarot is saying that if you just live your life and don't do anything, you won't get it. No. So it tells you what to expect. So if you're expecting that, you should do something about it. so that you can manifest the positive, you know, situation that you're looking for. So I feel I think I should leave it here and just remind you, the tarot hasn't got power over your life. You are the one who can decide, okay? And depending on the theme, you know, the theme of the tarot reading, whether it's a future, past, even another lifetime, the tarot can tell you some significant things. And upon that, you can take action to get what, you know, the tarot is telling you you can do. But if you don't act upon what is telling you, then no, nothing is going to happen. So I hope that this has been insightful. I will leave our subject here, and if you have anything to comment, please let me know. And I hope that I have been helpful today with tarot reading and divination, and I will see you next time, or you will see me next time.